Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome. Well, since being on this GLP-1 medication, everybody talks about the great things that's happening, the fact that the treatment is life-changing, which it is, and all the great things that happen with the medication. But no one talks about the things that just don't go right for some of us when we're taking this medication. These are the parts of the story that messes up your mind, that can mess up your body, and even your relationships with your friends and family. So today I am saying the things that people won't say out loud. If you've been taking this medication for any amount of time, I'm sure at least one of these things have happened to you. So let's talk about it. Now, let me just say, these things are not meant to scare you, but they are just to give you some realistic expectations about what can really happen when you're taking this GLP-1 medication. Let's start with number one. The first uncomfortable truth is that your weight loss will slow down. Now, remember, I don't talk in absolute, so I'm not saying everyone will have slow weight loss or everyone's weight loss will slow down, but for many people, that has happened. That fast drop in the beginning for many people does not last. So you go from losing so many pounds a week to not losing any weight at all. And for a lot of people that this has happened to, that is a hard reality to swallow. If you're losing, and suddenly you are not. When this happens, a lot of people think they're doing something wrong. And I just want you to know that it is not. You're not doing anything wrong. This is where the real fat loss can happen. Not just the weight on the scale that you see, but the fat loss. You may be getting to that visceral fat and you didn't know, and you probably won't know unless you do a DEXA scan or in-body scan or some kind of scan like that. And I will tell you that happened to me with my last DEXA scan. I wasn't losing as much weight as I had previously, but I was losing visceral fat. So that was a game changer for me, and just a way for me to not beat myself up about not losing at the pace I was losing before. So slow does not mean stuck. Number two, your food noise comes back. A lot of times we hear about the food noise being gone, how great it is. This is a wonderful treatment because people can believe how much time now you have on your hands because your food noise is gone. You're not always thinking about food. But guess what? There will come a time when that food noise may come back. I just want you to know that that doesn't mean the medication has stopped working or that the medication has failed you. That just means that your body is adjusting. And this is where your lifestyle changes, your habits are going to have to kick in. So any lifestyle changes and habits that you are making, when that food noise comes back, these should kick right in. Number three, here's an uncomfortable truth that I think people know, but when they experience it, it's a whole nother thing. The loose skin is real. The loose skin of it all. Nobody really prepares you for this because I don't think we picture our skin looking any different than it looks, right? We just can't imagine it until it happens. I'm not to the point where I have hanging skin, but I am with my arms though, where I have some things going on with my arms. This is just classic, right? You celebrate the success of losing weight. You're excited. You see the changes. You see that scale has gone down. You may have even reached your goal. And now you have to deal with the reality of loose skin. So this is the part where you have to decide, what am I going to do about it? And if I'm not going to do anything about it, how am I going to reconcile that this is now my body? This is where you have to decide what matters most, your health or perfection. I'm going to tell you, I am going to pick my health over perfection every time. That brings us to number four. The scale will play with your mind. This is a huge one for me. This is an uncomfortable truth that I don't think a lot of us have been prepared to deal with. This is where you realize, being on a GLP-1 journey, that the scale is not the full story. Because you could be cruising along, doing all the things, doing the things that you did the week before, and you dropped 1, 2, 3 pounds. You're doing the same thing this week and you don't drop at all. And then the next week, you don't drop at all. So it starts to play with your mind. What is going on? And I can't even imagine people that weigh in every day or 2 and 3 times a day. That scale probably is fluctuating all the time. But what do you do when that happens? That's where you have to have a plan for this scale on this GLP-1 journey. Doing everything right and the scale's still not moving, I'm going to say, this is what you can do. Focus on things that aren't about the scale. Focus on how your body feels. Focus on how your clothes feel. Focus on how your energy levels are. Your body is changing. That is a fact. Your body is changing. And your mind also has to change with your body. And that's where the change needs to come from. You need to change that thought that every week that scale is going to drop, or every month even the scale will drop. Now, for some people, it happens. But if it's not happening for you, you have to hold on to those other things. That's just an uncomfortable truth about being on this GLP-1 journey for some of us. Number 5, the side effects can be weird. Weird side effects. A lot of times in the media, and even when I'm talking amongst my friends, the side effects that often come up are nausea and constipation. But there are some other side effects that people are having that are unheard of, except for around this GLP-1 community. I'm going to tell you some of these I had not heard of. The one that stands out for me is being cold, getting that chill coming along, even when you normally would be warm, right? You're cold. You're constantly cold all the time. I have a video where I talk about these weird side effects. Click on that video after this video to find out all the weird side effects and why they actually happen on the GLP-1 journey. So we said cold, smell sensitivity, the fatigue of it all, impulse shopping, not wanting alcohol, not wanting food. So a lot of different weird side effects. The burps of it all, I forgot about that one. No one tells you that those things could possibly happen. You just hear about the ones that make the news and the headlines. So be prepared if you're new to this GLP-1 journey, or you could be cruising along and then you go on a different dose, or you eat a certain thing and you may develop one of these side effects. So good luck. That brings us to number 6. And number 6 is kind of disappointing, but it is an uncomfortable truth. And that is, people are going to judge you. People are going to judge you for taking this GLP-1. This one hurts right here, especially if it's your family and friends being judged for taking control of your health. It is so sad but true that we are being judged for taking control of our health. When you hear things like you lost weight the easy way, did you lose it the right way, you're cheating, you really didn't put the work in, it was just a medication. They don't see the discipline. They don't see the discipline, the hard work. I would say to you, on my journey, I am 80% of the time doing things that I should do. And 20% of the time, I'm an 80-20 person. There are times when I've been 90-10, and dare I say 100%. Sometimes when I just was focused and doing what I needed to do exactly. So I am 80-20, and the challenge is real. This has not been an easy breezy, lemon squeezy journey for me. It started off that way. And then eventually, as my body got used to the medication, as I'm titrating up, and as my A1C is getting adjusted, my cholesterol and all the things going on in my body, my hormones, those things kick in. And you have to make some adjustments and do the work. You have to put the work in. So I say, I salute you. Shout out to anybody on this GLP-1 medication that has taken control of their health. And don't let anybody shame you and tell you you don't have discipline, because you do. In order to be on this medication and be successful, you are probably doing some things that is helping the medication do its job. So I say, shout out to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. If they say they don't see your effort, then they don't have to. Don't worry about them. You worry about you, because guess what? Your journey is yours. Own it, be proud of it, and keep it moving. Number 7. You still have to learn how to eat. Isn't this a shocker? For a lot of us, I can tell in my live streams, I think people thought they were going to get on this GLP-1 medications like many of us did at the beginning, when a lot of information wasn't there. I've been taking this medication for 2 years, and even the people that have been on 3 and 4 years, shout out to you, because we were taking this medication when there wasn't a whole lot out there. There's a whole lot more for us to know, learn, and discover. So if you are a newer GLP-1 medication user, I say soak up all the knowledge you can, because some of these things weren't available and widely known when I started taking a GLP-1. Where do you learn about nutrition? No one really teaches you about nutrition. If you ask your doctor, they'll send you to a nutritionist or maybe even a dietitian, but they don't even know. Doctors aren't trained in nutrition. A lot of them. I'm not going to say all, because maybe some of them are learning things about nutrition, but I'm always told by any of the doctors I have that nutrition is not something that they learned. So we have to learn how to build better habits. I'm one of those people, I try something, if it doesn't work, I try something different. I do something until it stops working and I do something different. And that has worked for me. Or maybe somebody might argue and say it hasn't worked well enough. But that is what I'm comfortable doing. So I say find what works for you. I'm going to say to you, if you don't build better habits, you will not be successful long term on this journey. And that's where that gaining of the weight will begin. My trend line is going down. So the message here is you got to change those eating habits. You got to eat healthier. Get some veggies in there, get that fiber in there, get that protein in there, and drink your water. This is a lifestyle change with your eating patterns. This is not just about weight loss. Hopefully you're on a health journey, because I am. That brings us to number 8. Your body will change in unexpected ways. I want to say, yes, I agree with that. My body has changed in so many ways. And the fact that I'm even wearing white on camera and talking to you, that's a non-scale victory. That's because my body and the size of my clothes have changed. And it's hard for me to see sometimes. I really only can take it all in when I get in an extra large, right? I haven't been in an extra large in a long time. So when I know I can fit something smaller, it soaks in. I still see myself as being on that bigger side, but I'm learning, right? You're learning that your body is changing. So your clothes are hopefully fitting differently. Your shoes could be even fitting differently. The ring on your finger may not want to stay on and stay secure because you're losing weight and that inflammation is going down all over. So I just love that for us. Hopefully your confidence is changing too, because a lot of times when you're overweight, you're feeling bloated, you're feeling uncomfortable, it's hard to be confident, right? So hopefully you are feeling more confident as you see the changes in your body. Last thing I will say about the changes in your body is embrace the new, better version of yourself. I'm not going to even say better. I'm going to say healthier version of yourself. That's a better way to put that, because you are still your beautiful self. You are just a healthier version of yourself. So give yourself a hug and soak it all in. That brings us to number 9. This is not a magic tool. This is not a magic injection and not a magic shot. You have to put the work in. And for some of us, it is hard work, right? Some of you have been able to change your lifestyle habits and it's been easy breezy. You just were motivated and the discipline kicked in and you didn't have any hangups. Well, some of us have had struggles, and I'm one of those people who have had, I don't want to say call it a struggle, I would say challenges. I recently had some deaths coming up in my family and just had things going on that just took me back off of what I was doing. And this is how I know that the medication doesn't do everything, because when I got knocked off that horse, in order for me to get back on, that was me. That took some revisiting my goals and going with my routine again, getting back into my schedule and not letting those things keep me down, right? You can hold me down for a minute, but you can't keep my head under the water. And so that is what I was going through in the last couple of months. So I would say to you, anytime somebody tells you that this is a magic tool, this is just some magic injection, you take it and everything's going to be easy breezy, it is not. And if you have been on this journey for a long period of time, it is not. You will get to that point where that weight loss slows down, and that's where you're going to find out what you're made of. So good luck to you. You can do it, and you've got this. Finally, this brings us to uncomfortable truth number 10. And that is, maintenance is the real challenge. The real challenge. How do I know this? Well, I am not in maintenance, but I have some close buddies of mine that are in maintenance, and they are still doing all the things and having to keep up with their lifestyle changes. It just doesn't stop. I think for people who got off this medication and thought, I should just go back to my old way of doing things, I don't have to do all the habits and the routines and the lifestyle that I built when I was taking the GLP-1. A lot of those people, I'm sure, have found out you will gain weight back if you do that. We know that losing weight is one thing, but keeping it off is another. So shout out to all my friends and people I don't even know that's watching this video that is in maintenance. Shout out to you. In my live streams, there have been a lot of discussions with people in maintenance about what happens when you're in maintenance. What is your lifestyle looking like? What is happening? What are you doing? And many of the successful people maintaining are still doing the same thing. They kept their lifestyle and routines going. So this is where consistency is going to turn into a lifestyle, because you're going to be continuing to do those routines, and you're going to continue with those systems, and you're not going to go back to the things that you were doing before the GLP-1. I think that is key. That's what people have to realize, that it has to keep going. So there is no finish line. I say to myself, gosh, my goal is to get down to the 140s. And I think to myself, when I get to the 140s, then what is going to happen? Well, guess what? A whole lot of things aren't going to change. I'm still going to have to figure this lifestyle out and still do the things that I did to reach my goal. So this is a lesson for all of us that it's an uncomfortable truth. We think when we reach our goal, life on the GLP-1 is over. For some people, it can be. But guess what? If it is, and they are not gaining weight back, they are still keeping those lifestyle changes going. So why not develop those now, so that we can ease our way into maintenance and continue it throughout maintenance? So that's an uncomfortable truth that we all have to realize, that really there is no end goal. There is just a continuation of your goal. So with that said, I want to thank you for watching. I know some of these things were probably difficult to hear, but they're actually true. They're just the truth, the uncomfortable truth of what we're dealing with when we are taking a GLP-1. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you don't take anything from this video, I want you to take that you got to put the work in, right? This is a tool. This is not something that you do instead of. This is something you do as a supplement to a healthy lifestyle. And we want progress over perfection, right? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Consistency means doing something more than you're not. So you want to practice those healthy habits more than you're not. I want you to embrace and enjoy becoming the healthiest version of your beautiful self. We've got this. We can do this. If one of these hit home for you, I want you to drop down in the comments and let me know which one. I want to thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for some more education, fun, and information about the GLP-1, and also to share in my experience with the GLP-1. Like and share the video. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I go live or upload the video. And hype the video. Don't forget to hype the video. I also want you to check out my Downsizing Diva and Beyond Inner Circle. We have an inner circle. It's a small group of women that are supporting each other on their GLP-1 journey. The link will be in the description of this video. Check out my Stand Store. My Stand Store has some great tools, resources, and guides to help you on your GLP-1 journey. The link to that is also in the description. And most importantly, I really want you to take great care of yourself. We've got this. We've got this on our GLP-1 journeys. Take great care of yourselves. Don't let the naysayers or the haters bring you down. And remember, slow and steady wins the race. Just don't quit.